Welcome to TMZ Live. We have received a fourth letter from the person who claims to know the identity of Nancy Guthrie's kidnapper, where they are, and he has again demanded money, $50,000 up front before he gives up anything. We are making an overture to him. Use us. You don't trust the FBI, you've made that clear. So we have been in touch with the FBI, and they know we're doing this. If you don't trust the FBI because you don't think you're going to get the reward from them, that they'll be shady or whatever, give us the information. We will immediately forward it to the FBI. And that way you have a public record of
the fact that you were the person who gave them the information that led to the kidnapper.
Right.
And therefore, they can't try to screw you over, as you don't trust the FBI, and you believe they don't trust you. So if we have the information, we can vouch for you that you actually provided the information that led to the capture.
So we have put this on social media, we have put it on the website, and we're doing it on our television shows so that if this person is watching this, hey, public record, the pressure is on the FBI to do the right thing.
Assuming that your information is correct.
If it's not correct, you should know you're committing a crime. In fact, he even says he knows it's a crime.
Right.
And he's being truthful. But I will say this.
I got to remember that we did not expect, after we got the second note, we did not expect to hear from this person. They said, this is it, you're never going to hear from me again. Then they again wrote to us on Friday and said that they were reaching out one more time because they felt like the FBI was not taking them seriously, but they said that was the last time. This time,
they want money.
This person has reached out. They want money, obviously.
They want money.
But they also said they saw the latest video that Savannah posted, and they felt very badly for her. They really do.
But if they felt badly, they'd give up the information.
But I have to protect myself and my family.
So this person says, I know what I saw 5 days ago south of the border, and I was told to shut up, so I know who he is, he meaning the kidnapper, and that was definitely Nancy with them. So this is the second time he is making it seem like there's more than one person.
Right. By the way, the 5 days ago would have been the day we got the first note on Wednesday.
So he's saying that he's worried because he has a criminal record. He had a burglary 10 years ago. And that he is worried that he could either be implicated or by knowing these people and giving up the information, he could be killed. I mean, he goes into this whole long thing. So that's that. Again, if you really want the money, the only way I can think of is work with us. Give us the information. We will make sure, and this is public record, you've given it. We're not going to tell everybody ahead of time, but we'll give it immediately to the FBI, and then at least you've got something on record.
Right.
And so, ante up. A couple of things that I find kind of weird in this case. That glove that you're looking at right there. Mm-hmm. Go back to that glove. So that is a bulky, bulky glove. Now, you know they have found a glove in a field 2 miles from Nancy's house. It is being tested right now for DNA. I think this is a PCR test. That's a very sophisticated test that they do in labs, and the accuracy is really high. And hopefully that
it matches.
Hopefully it matches, and they'll figure it out.
Matches either the DNA that the sheriff's department said they have found in Nancy's home that doesn't belong to Nancy. So if it's a match to that, or it's a match to anyone else that's in the database that the FBI has.
But even if it isn't in the database, now they're able to use things like Ancestry.com.
Right.
And what they're able to do is they can see about a relative, and then they go down the chain, and they might find somebody in Tucson. So there are all sorts of ways. And I hope that happens here. Here's my doubt. And I've just been thinking about this. That glove, go back to that glove. If you think about it, if that person kidnapped Nancy, what he had to do is get back in his car and drive away, right?
Right.
what's the first thing you would do when you get in the car?
You take off the glove.
You take off the glove.
But
you
the
can't.
part that doesn't make sense to me is, yes, you take off the glove, but you probably don't throw it out the window a mile from the house, a mile and a half.
That's the part I'm talking about. And it's like, and you throw one glove out, like O.J. Simpson. So look, I mean, the point is, why would you? And even if he got out,
anything you had that you were wearing while committing that crime, you don't throw out into a field. You would keep it with you if you want. You burn it or whatever it is, but you're not.
You're not going to
throw it, and certainly not a mile from our house. You're in the desert, right? So you're out in the middle of the desert and you're driving wherever you're going to go. If you were going to throw it out the window, you would wait until you were out away from anything
Why would you
else.
throw it out, period, for somebody to find it?
I agree.
It's like this guy was guy was so careful to completely cover himself so he wouldn't leave any DNA or evidence. And if he's got his hand in the glove and he's that concerned about identity, why would he just toss it out 2 miles away where you know you're going to find it?
Right.
So that's why, look, maybe it is the glove, and maybe there's something we're not thinking of, which would be great, but I just have my doubts because this never made sense to me. Yeah. The other thing that doesn't make sense to me, there have been some reports that maybe this was a burglary gone bad. I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. That if he is covering himself like this, first of all, burglars generally don't do that. The other thing is that if he knew anything about Nancy...
Cameras now, they might.
Well...
You cover your face anyway, but
You cover your face.
Right.
But if he is that careful not to... and if it's a burglary, and if he's that careful not to leave DNA, if he gets in the house, how do you open a drawer and pick up jewelry with those gloves on? And if you take the glove off to grab it, you've got fingerprints. So that doesn't make any sense. And the other thing is, it's like Nancy Guthrie, well known, goes to church. And that was a Sunday morning. If he would have waited 8 hours, she might be at church, and then you go to an empty house.
Well, that means it's you're talking about it being a targeted burglary as opposed to a random one. But
I don't think it... I'm not...
But you don't think it's a burglary at all?
I don't think it's a burglary at all.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
Doesn't add up.
And when you look at all the videos that we've been looking at, that we've been getting, those are all people where their faces are visible. We blurred them, but their faces are visible. Not that guy. Not that guy.
Yeah.
That guy wants to be covered up. And so this whole burglary gone bad, I'm not buying it.
Well, the Pima County Sheriff's Department came out. The sheriff himself said, I don't know where that report came from. It is not something that we are... He said that's not our operating theory. So
the final thing, again, we received that ransom note now a week ago. And I can tell you the FBI is keenly interested in this note. 2
weeks ago, the ransom note, the actual one saying we want Bitcoin.
Oh, my God, you're right. It's 2 weeks ago. God.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. The FBI is still keenly interested in this note. It is well masked in terms of the identity of who wrote it. But again, nothing's been paid, but they are interested in that note.
Brandon from Philadelphia here. This case has become like the greatest kidnapping in American history. It seems like even bigger than the Lindbergh baby. Like, it's been over 2 weeks now. Where's Nancy Guthrie? People are saying she might be in Mexico. It's scary, and hopefully she's found.
Hopefully she's found. Yeah. A final thing, and I talked to somebody again today in law enforcement who kept saying, this has been told to me several times now, do not use logic in trying to figure these things out. That logic doesn't necessarily get you to the point that you want to get to. And in
fact, there's usually some illogical move that the criminal has made.
Is what catches them.
Is what ends up leading police to them.
But they have said to me several times now that if you try to look at this thing logically, more often than not, you're on the wrong track.
Right.
That you have to open up to the notion that it doesn't make sense.
Right.